Welcome back to MOONYMAKES. My name is Callie, and today we are going to be making the perfect spring summer dessert, and that is a lemon loaf cake. So you are going to love this recipe. It's citrusy, it's bright, the texture is going to be moist and fluffy, and at the end we're going to top it with a really delicious kind of citrusy glaze that's so simple to make, and I can't wait to share this recipe with you. So let's get right into it, but before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So let's get right into it. These are the ingredients we are going to be using. I have some granulated sugar, a couple of eggs, 1 egg yolk, buttermilk, vanilla, salt. I am using extra virgin olive oil. You could sub extra virgin olive oil for any kind of neutral oil. I'm thinking vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you have, whatever you like. But I think that the olive oil just goes so perfectly with the citrus and the flavors that we have going on in this recipe. So I highly recommend that you use it. I also have some lemon zest. Here what I have is some all-purpose flour, baking powder, and a little bit of turmeric. The turmeric is optional. If you don't have it, don't add it in. You are not going to taste it in the recipe. The purpose of it is to kind of add a really beautiful color to this lemon loaf cake without adding any kind of food coloring. So that's it. Let's get right into it. And we are going to have some additional ingredients once we get the glaze going, but we'll go over those when the time comes. So first things first, let's take our dry ingredients. So that includes our flour, baking powder, our turmeric. Into this, I'm gonna throw in some kosher salt, and we're just gonna give this a really quick whisk to get everything nice and incorporated. So kosher salt going in, kosher salt always, and you wanna get your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit before you even begin baking, because this is going to take no time to put together. Okay, this looks good. Next, I'm going to throw in my lemon zest into my sugar. And what we're going to do now, it's optional. If you forget this step, it's not the end of the world. But what we're going to do is massage in the lemon zest into the sugar. And what this is going to do is really maximize that citrusy flavor. You're going to smell immediately the kind of aroma of the lemon zest once you start massaging it in to the sugar. I can smell it so much right now. It smells so good. And this is just really gonna make that citrus pop. And this is a lemon loaf cake after all. So we really, really, really wanna maximize that flavor. Okay, so this looks good. The smell has gotten much more intense. And that just lets us know we're gonna get a really lemony cake, which is exactly what we want. So next, I'm gonna throw in my extra virgin olive oil and just give this a quick stir until it's nice and creamy. And like I said, I love using extra virgin olive oil in this recipe. I think it is just so perfect. I also love an olive oil cake, and I do kind of try to substitute extra virgin olive oil when I can in certain recipes because it is a little bit better for you than some of the seed oils, but you know, there's a time and a place for everything. Okay, so that looks good. So next I'm gonna go in with my egg and my egg yolk, and I'm gonna do the same thing, just give it a nice whisk until it's nice and smooth and creamy and incorporated. Okay, so this looks great. Okay, so next I just threw in my vanilla along with my dry ingredients, and I'm also gonna throw in at this point my buttermilk, and I'm gonna throw in my fresh squeezed lemon juice, which I forgot to mention when I was going over the ingredients. I don't know how I can forget to mention that. That's like the star of the show here. You want that lemon flavor, so of course I'm gonna throw that in at this point. So, sorry about that. I'm just gonna give this a quick whisk until all the ingredients are nice and incorporated. And again, you don't wanna overmix because then you're gonna get a tough cake. So I'm gonna stir this up. And I love a loaf cake because they're just so simple to make, and it takes so much less time to make than, you know, like a 2 or 3 layer cake. And don't get me wrong, I love those too. But if you kind of need to throw something together quickly, this is kind of the way to go. Okay, so everything at this point is pretty much incorporated, but I definitely want to go in with my spatula and just give everything a nice mix to combine. And I'm gonna make sure to scrape the bottom and the sides of the bowl to kind of just get all of that extra batter nice and incorporated. Okay, this looks beautiful. So next, I'm gonna go grab my pan, clean up, and then we're gonna finish this off. Okay, so next up I have my loaf pan here that's greased. I lined with some parchment paper to ensure nothing sticks. Again, my oven is already preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm gonna add in the batter to the loaf pan, and then I'm gonna pop this in the oven for probably around 50 to 60 minutes. Check on it at the 50-minute mark. You'll know when it's finished baking when you insert a skewer or knife, whatever you have, into the center of the cake and it comes out clean or with a few crumbs. So I'm gonna pop this into the oven, and once this is finished baking, we'll get going on that glaze, which you're gonna love. So I'll see you soon. Okay, so we're back. It's 45 minutes later. My cake is done baking. I'm just letting it cool, and it's about done cooling. So this is the perfect time to start on the glaze. So for the glaze, what you're gonna need is some powdered sugar. I have some lemon juice. I also have a little bit of salt, and I have some melted butter. So this is what we're gonna do. Super easy. I'm just gonna sift the powdered sugar into a bowl. You don't have to sift it, but I just find that I get so many kind of like lumps of powdered sugar. I think this is just the best way to kind of ensure it's not too bumpy and lumpy. Okay, so now that the powdered sugar is incorporated, I'm just gonna pour in my remaining ingredients, my lemon juice, my melted butter. I'm just gonna give this a stir until it's nice and smooth and homogeneous, and then I'm gonna pour this over the top of my cake. Okay, so this is the consistency that we're going for. It's nice and smooth and creamy. So next what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a close-up of just how absolutely amazing this lemon loaf cake really is. Okay, so there you go. That's my recipe for my lemon loaf cake that I'm so confident that you're gonna love. Make this at home and you are gonna be so happy that you did. So as always, for the full written recipe and instructions, head to my blog, moonymake.com. I'll put the link for that in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will come right up, and make this lemon loaf cake. I promise you're gonna love it, and let me know what you think because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.